Hey, this is Sam Black with my first match with 4-color Collected Company in Standard. I'm going to keep this hand on the draw. I would like to find an untapped land as soon as possible, but I can technically play a game of Magic with the cards in my hand because of Rattleclaw Mystic, which is why I'm going to lead the Bivouac rather than Scryland, so that if I draw any untapped land I can cast Rattleclaw. And that happened. So my opponent has 3 mana up, which represents a removal spell. So I'm just going to play a forest and pass and force my opponent to either use a removal spell in my Rattleclaw or waste mana this turn. And either way, I'll Collected Company at some point in the future. Not attacking is a pretty clear giveaway about what's going on, but that's fine. I have Valorous Stance, but I do not have white mana available right now. And I fully missed. Alright. Good start for this deck. I believe I'm 5% to do that, which is enough that it will happen. I don't want this. Yeah, so I guess I just run it back. I could have done it main phase looking for Mantis Rider, but the fact that my other haste guys like Rabble Master don't do anything against Rhino means that I think it's fine to just wait. This way my opponent might not attack with Siege Rhino, fearing Death Mist Raptor, which I think is better for me than my opponent attacking, especially since I can cast Valorous Stance on my turn. So now I'll Company. Alright, and now I hit some real things. I definitely want Mantis Rider, and now I have to decide if I want Fleecemane Lion or Knuckleblade. I could Monstrous the Fleecemane Lion right away or later, but Knuckleblade attacks better into Courser, and I'm going to kill the Lion, so I'm just going to take the Knuckleblade. My opponent is drawing another Rhino. Let's see here. I want to fetch a Plains, Stance the Rhino, and then I think make another hasted Knuckleblade. So despite messing with the first company, I'm not in terrible shape here. These Knuckleblades can attack into Rhino because I can threaten to pump them. That can kill these, but then dies to Mantis Rider. No real upside to playing Rabble Master Recombat. So I'll finish off Elspeth. I have 6 mana. I kind of want to wait to play and Monstrous Fleecemane Lion at the same time. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cast my other creatures. They don't do a lot, but I don't think there's a great reason not to cast them. Alright, so now my opponent has the ground pretty well locked up and is gaining almost as much life as I'm dealing per turn. So that's not great for me. But this will help keep things under control. And I'll see if I can find another company or an Elspeth or something that would let me win. My opponent does only have one card, but Courser means that the pressure is definitely on me to end this game. Alright, that's sort of a thing. This guarantees a block with the Siege Rhino, so I can kill it with Stoke. And I think, yeah, I want to kill it with Stoke so the Fleeceman Lion can relevantly attack. Oh, well, yeah, there wasn't another way to do this, because like, I couldn't have used the Goblin to convoke Stoke to save it, because then he just doesn't block with Siege Rhino this turn. So Abzan Charm can create a blocker for Fleeceman Lion, kill Mantis Rider, or draw 2 cards. Looks like my opponent is going for cards, which makes sense with the Fleeceman Lion there. And also drew Hero's Downfall. Well, that's not great for me. I imagine my Mantis Rider's dying. Yep. Alright. Well, let's get in one useful attack with the Fleeceman Lion while I can, before my opponent goes monstrous and shuts that down. Definitely don't want that card that does nothing. Alright, so I'm really on Elspeth or bust at this point. That's a reasonable point. That attack does make sense. I think I have to just take it. Oh, well, my opponent having Elspeth is basically just game over. So, the Elspeth looks really out of place in this deck, since it isn't a hit for company or cheap interaction to get Rebel Master through or anything, but it makes sense because you can play games like this that end up in a board stall where Elspeth wins and nothing else would. So I do like that design choice, but also I can't possibly win this game. I guess my best chance involves collected company into 2 Mantis Riders on my next turn. So I should play as if that's going to happen. Which I think means stoking Fleeceman Lion in response to going monstrous, because my Mantis Riders will kill Elspeth anyway. Alright, I think this blocks here, and if I go to 1, after I play 2 Mantis Riders and kill Elspeth, I will have 3, 4, 5 blockers, and my opponent will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. So that's unacceptable. So I have to block here. Alright, that's not a company. I'm dead. Okay, so sideboarding is interesting here. My spells all seem great, but I can't really bring them all in while keeping company functional. But without company, I'm not exactly sure what my deck does. But let's look at my options. If I cut company, because I want to bring in spells and don't see what else I could cut, I get both commands because I want to kill Courser and counter Rhino, and Disdainful Strokes. And I would also like maybe Cruise and Negate. I get to cut some creatures. Rabblemaster is probably fine on the play. I definitely don't like it on the draw. It's possible that it's bad on the play also. Like maybe what I'm supposed to do is cut my Rabblmasters for these blue cards. But I'm also not super big on these Stokes actually, since I have other ways of dealing with my opponent's creatures. Maybe I'm supposed to just cut them and leave company in. Or a few companies. Seems worse than Negates and Cruises. And then is Rabblemaster actually better than Stoke? I'm gonna guess no. I feel like my opponent might bring in Drowns and stuff to be ready for Rabblemaster anyway. Try it like this. Not incredibly confident that this is the perfect way to sideboard for this matchup, but it doesn't seem clearly wrong to me. This hand is fine. Obviously leaving Forest because I would prefer to not have Mana Confluence for all of my spells if I draw another untapped land. But no big deal. I think I just play this. I lose out on giving it haste, but I'm not really about to be able to do that and have a Jujai's command that I can use once I do hit 4 mana. The alternative would be Seeker and attack for 2, which is certainly defensible, since this is just walking into a turn 3 removal spell, and 2 damage is a useful thing to get. But this is much better against Land Courser. So it kind of demands that my opponent actually spend time playing a removal spell, whereas Seeker doesn't. But 2 damage is not nothing, and making my opponent use a removal spell on Seeker when I'm holding a Jujai's command is valuable. So certainly a strong case for going the other way here. Okay. Playing Rattleclaw Mystic kind of walks into Vile Blight in a way I'm not a big fan of. I could morph it and miss out on 2 damage, but I gain some mana in the future and play around Vile Blight. I think I like that. I don't know how many Vile Blades to expect my opponent to have, but well, this doesn't necessarily have to hurt me anymore. That's nice. That's bad. I was hoping to be able to hook Siege Rhino with the Jutei's command, but now my opponent gets to take it or know about it. And negate is just not the same. This is not going well. Maybe Seeker is what I was supposed to board out. Rabble Master would have done a little more. I could have played it the turn that I played Knuckleblade. Opponent's drawing Hero's Downfall and doesn't know about my negate. Because this thing is morphed awkwardly, playing this thing means I can't leave negate up. Kind of tempted to just pass. My opponent might be playing a Planeswalker or something next turn anyway, although the odds go down when I pass with mana up when my opponent knows that I have Seeker in hand, but I think it's fine to pass here. Seeker's not really doing anything, and next turn I can play it with negate up. If I block with all of my creatures, I'm inducing a downfall, which I could counter, which I guess works out well if my opponent... I mean, I'm basically just trading 1-for-1s and, losing the negate that I have to answer this Elspeth. But my alternative is going to 9. But I guess that's what I have to do, because I just have to count on getting life with Seeker, because I can't let Elspeth resolve. So trying to figure out if I can leave negate up and play both Seekers. It seems like I should be able to, but let's see, if these two flip this guy, and I have 3 mana, and I use both white to play both Seekers, so then I have mana up. But it's 2 Rattleclaw Mystics, and one of them could just get killed, and then I wouldn't have mana up. So that's not the best. So I guess I just play a Seeker. And I think I have to pass. So if I block with everything, if my opponent uses a removal spell, I still trade. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Why did you go away? Alright, so I lost 2 Rattleclaw Mystics and killed Rhino. I'm totally fine with that. Den Protector is a problem. So I have to negate this. And then I don't really know how I beat the Den Protector. Okay, so let's sack this for a plains. Cast this. Sack an enchantment, put this one counter on a creature. Okay, so now I have to just end the game as fast as possible somehow. No blocks. If I stoke, that's 4, 8, 11. Don't really know how I turn that into lethal, but I think it's my best chance. Downfall there. Alright, that's not great for me. Yep, flip Den Protector, get back Elspeth. And now everything is awful again. I can't especially conceive of winning this game, but I'll play it out, at least for a little bit. Attacking doesn't get me anywhere. Really not sure how I'm supposed... I guess I'm not supposed to bring in Negate, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to sideboard here, because I definitely feel like I don't have enough power in my deck without company, but at the same time the removal spells seem good, and I can't cut creatures and still play company. So maybe I'm just supposed to upgrade Stoke the Flames into different removal spells and leave it at that. Not sure. This matchup is definitely horrible though. Okay. I guess this is my out. I just need to stoke my opponent and then draw Stoke or Mantis Rider. And trying to figure out if there's any reason to or not to attack. I can't really think of one. I'll just pass. I might as well stoke now and block just to... I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but I think I want to gain some life. I mean, I just win if my opponent has nothing and I draw Stoke or Mantis Rider and lose if anything else happens, I think. Oh. Well, that's kind of great for me, I think, because that might buy me a turn or two of extra top decks. I guess I should thin. Ugh. Well, now I'm basically dead. I don't know how I can possibly deal 6 before dying to Elspeth's ultimate. I think 12 and 13 are the same, and I want to draw not forest or plains for sure. And there's Mantis Rider. So I actually would win if my opponent had nothing and didn't have Siege Rhino or a removal spell. But that's not where we are. If I attack and put my opponent to 3, block 3, still take more than lethal, I'm dead.